This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and the latest news from Alpena Community College with Dr. Olin Joynton. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Judy Burns from Friends Together. Hi, Judy.
Hi there, Nancy.
How are you today?
I am wonderful.
I am too. You know, a good day every day is a good day.
Yes, it is.
And you especially realize that when you're with your Friends Together people. And I know you just came from a meeting, the Guys Like Us meeting. And how did that go today?
Wednesday mornings at 10 o'clock. Those mornings are dedicated to the men who are coping with cancer issues. So every Wednesday morning we have a program called Guys Like Us. We had a great meeting this morning, and actually I promised to wear this. One of the gentlemen made this for me.
Oh, is that pretty?
This necklace for the holidays. It's great bonding time, a lot of discussion. We have between 6 and 10 gentlemen every Wednesday morning who've been affected by cancer, and they come together. We talk about their issues, treatment, diet, nutrition, prevention. We just have a wonderful time together, a lot of good laughs.
That's what I want people to understand, that it's not a doom and gloom thing.
Oh, golly, no, and we always have food. We have to have food around every time we meet. So Wednesday mornings we have healthy and not so healthy food, and they love it. They're always checking out what we're going to be serving, as well as Tuesday nights. Gentlemen do come on Tuesday nights also, and Tuesday night, every Tuesday night of the year, we have what's called Friends Together Weekly, and that is a mixed gender group of folks who are dealing with cancer issues, men and women, all ages, all sizes, all different types of cancer. And on Tuesday night, we usually have 12 to 20 people attend those groups. And again, good food, good conversation, a lot of support, a lot of fun. We realize that the way we handle our cancer issue, it's just not about the disease and the medical side of it. It's about the love and care and support can make all the difference in your attitude.
Yes. And
attitude can make a difference in recovery. So we are there for everyone.
And the caregivers.
The caregivers also meet on Tuesday evening.
God bless the caregivers.
Honestly, they never went to Caregiver 101.
Right.
Nobody helped them get to a point where they knew how to be the perfect caregiver for their loved one. And they too are dealing with loss of income or family strife, or it's a new normal for them too. And so Tuesday evenings at 6 o'clock our caregivers meet also. So we have 9 programs around northern Michigan for folks who are coping with cancer, and all ages, all sizes, all types. Not only do we meet in our new center, and that's on Prentice Street and State Street, we love it there, but we also meet with patients at the Cancer Center. And that's a service maybe a lot of people don't know about.
Yes.
If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you need to meet with your oncologist or go for treatment, please let me know if you would like someone to go with you.
Especially if you're alone.
If you were alone, you need another set of ears and eyes.
Yes.
And I oftentimes go with our folks who are coping with cancer or their whole family in to see the oncologist, and together we meet so that we have a complete understanding of what's happening. So that's another service we offer, and it's very personal, and everyone is very appreciative when I go in with them.
And Friends Together was born because of a need that you had. Your wonderful daughter, Dawn, was suffering from cancer. You needed answers, you needed support, and you weren't able to find it in the area.
Right. I had no idea what that particular experience would lead to. But when Dawn was diagnosed, we did not have a cancer center. We felt like we were left hanging out there all alone, and we were alone. And in the 2 years that Dawn suffered with her cancer issues, we traveled to 5 different cancer centers around the United States, and I learned so much, so very much about the importance of support, getting answers, being your own advocate.
More than you ever wanted to know.
You're right, more than I ever wanted to know. And so I promised Dawn before she passed away that no one would ever go through this experience alone the way we did. And I really thought we just needed a monthly support group. And it has evolved into an agency, an organization where we work in 5 counties. We provide transportation assistance.
Yes.
We provide lodging assistance.
Yes.
the bottom line is, if there's a need or a concern, please come to us and we'll help you.
Okay.
If we can.
And one thing we want to talk about is a day of cheer.
Yes, I'm loving it.
And we're going to be doing it again December 11th from 7:30 to 4. It's held at Alpena Cancer Center. And how a day of cheer came about last year. We talked about going out of town. My husband and I had gone out of town. We went to Flint Carmano's Cancer Center for an appointment. We knew it wasn't going to be wonderful. We had to be there at 8 in the morning, so we left at 4 in the morning, emotionally, physically, financially, and mentally drained when we got there. And they were having a big party, a celebration. They welcomed us in. They gave us a gas card for the trip home. They gave us food and refreshments and cute little treats. And we just felt so wonderful when we left there. And on the way home, I said to my husband, I said, you know, we should do that in Alpena, at the Alpena Cancer Center. So I talked to Dr. Hitzelberger. He said, go for it. And last year was our first year. It was a wonderful success. And we're doing it again this year thanks to the wonderful support of everyone in our community.
Right.
You say you need something for the Cancer Center, and it's there. I want to thank everyone for their support. And once again, it's for families and caregivers of current and former cancer patients at the Cancer Center. We just meet, we have fun, we laugh, we talk, we do that good and bad food stuff that, you know,
sure do.
Helps through every situation. And we'd really like to invite everyone. And if they need any information, they can contact you at Friends Together. Or everyone knows how to get a hold of me. They can contact me. We're looking for donations of homemade goodies of any kind. And to honor the Cancer Center staff, because my husband always thinks he's the only patient at Alpena Cancer Center, and we know that's not the case. So the wonderful care that they give, the compassion, you know, the help that they give you and your family through, you know, a cancer diagnosis is just wonderful to be able to get that treatment in our own town.
Absolutely, and I think sometimes they're the unsung heroes. Our staff, all the gals and the nurses, the professionals, they're there every day. And they do take that home with them every night.
They do.
So we need to honor our staff as well as our patients and our families. This isn't a journey you signed up for.
No.
So we're going to help you along the way.
Okay, and so Judy, give us a number for people to contact you.
Absolutely. Friends Together, 356-3231. And you can connect with us on Facebook, or we have a website, www.friendstogethermi.org.
We're out of town. I want to thank you. We're out of time. I want to thank you very much for your time today. Thanks for being here and filling us in, and I hope people will call. Let their journey begin with you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Nancy.
Thank you. I'll be right back with some information about Child and Family Services following these messages. Hi, welcome back. As promised, my last two guests are both from Child and Family Services. I have Heather April Watson and Felony Keller Summers. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I know National Adoption Month is coming up, so Heather, let's start with you. Tell me about, you are an adoption specialist, so what do you do?
Well, I complete adoptions for families of children in care, like who've been in the foster care system, removed from their birth families for any number of reasons.
Okay, and there's a lot of misconceptions out there, isn't there, about adoptions?
Yes, there are. Adoption in most people's minds is just this happy, wonderful thing. They mostly think of babies. What many people don't know is that the events that have led these children into care are often very difficult, even traumatic. So when we get to an adoption finalization, it can be happy, but more often it brings about a sense or a feeling of relief. Like this process is finally over. They can close out all those things from the past and start something new. So adoption marks the end of this long process and the beginning of something new, with the family being a new whole unit.
And how, if someone's interested in adoption, how does the process begin?
Phone call.
Really?
Call Child and Family Services. Also, if I may, a really good resource, one that we often work in conjunction with, is what we call MARE. It is the Michigan Adoption Resource Exchange.
Okay.
The web address is www.mare.org. mare.org. And they have a lot of like common questions and answers. I believe the section is called Where Do I Begin? And that can answer some of those questions. Of course, we are available and hold various orientations for anybody who wants to become a foster parent,
Okay.
or wants to foster to adopt, or who just want to adopt.
Okay. Now, Felony, you're the adoption supervisor, and I know there's a lot of great things going on for National Adoption Month.
Yes, so November is National Adoption Month, and on November 26th is actual National Adoption Day. And during that day, we are having a celebratory event, and during that time, we'll be finalizing adoptions during the day at the Alpena Court, and then afterwards, around 4:30, we will be congregating at the AMA ESD building, and we'll be having an event there. And people who have gone through this journey of adoption or that their children have been in foster care will be at this event celebrating their journey, their process, and what led them to creating their new family. And so dinner and refreshments will be provided.
Wow.
We will also be having activities for kids to do, such as there's going to be a station for cookie decorating that the children will be able to participate in, as well as face painting. And it's open to the public. We really encourage the public to come in. They're more than welcome. It's a great time to network and get those questions asked. If adoption has been in the back of your head, or possibly wanting to be a foster parent, it's a great opportunity to come in, speak to people and parents in the community here that are currently foster parents or are adoptive parents. Service workers like April and myself will be there, and we'll be able to answer your questions. So it's a really great networking opportunity as well, and so we really welcome everyone to come in and join us.
Now, April, all children that become adopted, do they all come from a foster home situation?
No, I mean, there is the traditional, like I said, people, when they think of adoption, usually think of the possibly young mother who, for whatever reason, wants to give her baby up for adoption. So there is that, like I said, for lack of a better term,
Sure.
traditional ideal of adoption, which is still available. And in our agency, we don't do private adoptions.
Okay.
In our agency, our focus is children in care,
Okay.
and helping those children achieve permanence. When they're in the foster care system, the big goal in the court and for these children is to have that permanence, that security, to alleviate what brought them into care.
Okay. And now you alluded to the length of time, so adoptions, it's not something that's an overnight process. There's a lot of hoops to jump through for a family that's looking to adopt.
Yes. Per policy, adoption policy, we like to try to get adoptions completed within a 6-month time frame. That depending on the circumstances around that, if there's many people who want to adopt, relatives often adopt, children who are in care.
Okay.
And so it can be complicated.
And something real important to let everyone know is that there are so many children out there in foster care that would love to be in a happy, permanent home. And all you need to do is have love and want to take them in. And they're not all babies. We want people to know they're every age. So what age are available for adoption?
The age range of children that come into care can range anywhere from a baby to 18. If you go to a website like the one I mentioned, the Michigan Adoption Resource Exchange, there are currently in Michigan 272 children who are available for adoption. The average age there is more teenagers.
Okay.
If they're younger, many of them have some more severe needs, but that's not all of the children, who come into care.
And one of the other misconceptions is that, they're all bad kids, or, And that's not true. That's so not true.
Not at all. I mean, these kids have, unfortunately, every circumstance is different. It's always an individual basis. But these kids have gone through traumatic events. And it's a wonder that, you know, kids are so resilient, and we see that on a daily basis.
Okay, unfortunately, we're almost out of time. So can you give me a number where someone could contact either of you for information on either foster parenting, adoption, or just to get more general information?
Absolutely. Call Child and Family Services of Northeast Michigan. Our phone number is 989-356-4567, and we'll be more than happy to answer anybody's questions or inquiries. And again, if anybody has questions about Adoption Day and the event, feel free to call us at Child and Family, and we can inform you more and give you some more details.
Thank you both very much for what you do and matching up children in happy homes, and we really appreciate that.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Please stay tuned for Dr. Olin Joyton following these messages.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm Olin Joyton, president of Alpena Community College. This morning we're going to feature our auto service program under the direction of instructor Pete Eastwood. And two students on the program this morning, Mark Kelly and Tyler Nichols. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you.
And one thing about the program, it's worthwhile pointing out, a difference between these two fellows is, Mark, you are in the certificate program, which is possible to complete it in 1 year. And Tyler, you're in the Associate of Applied Science degree program, which takes 2 years. What is the main difference, Tyler? What is it in addition to the certificate material that the Associate of Applied Science degree contains?
Mathematics, English. We go a little bit farther into the automotive part of it as well. You know, engines, transmissions. It's just a little. It's kind of the same program, but it's much more involved.
Okay, so you had a little more time to get some general education and a little more depth. Yes. Mark, your reason for choosing the certificate, I bet you needed to get through a credential quickly and get to work. Is that right?
Pretty much, yeah. Get my basic certification and get out in the job world.
Right. It's not the only program at ACC that has both a 1-year certificate and a 2-year associate degree. In fact, for example, in our nursing degree, we have a 1-year licensed practical nurse credential, and sometimes people will go out and work at that for a little while, then come back and get the associate degree, which allows you to be an RN. So that's an option to keep in mind in the future. Mark, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Grand Lake, Presque Isle area.
Beautiful country, isn't it?
Yes.
How did you find your way to ACC? What motivated your choice of?
A coworker of mine graduated from the program.
Okay.
He told me about it, and
word of mouth. That's some of the best advertising we get.
Yeah.
Yes. And so when did you start in the program? Is it this fall?
Yeah, this fall.
Okay, so you've just been in the program a couple of months now. Is it going pretty well for you?
Great. I love it.
What do you like most about the program? They're different. There's a theory and the book work and the hands-on.
The book work's not too bad. I like more of the hands-on experience where you actually get to work on vehicles.
Very good. Does the shop seem to be set up pretty well for that activity?
Yes, the shop's excellent.
Very good, very good. And how about you, Tyler? Where'd you grow up, and how did you end up at ACC?
Well, I was born and raised in Traverse City. Spent a lot of my teenage, young adult years in Kalkaska. Ended up over here, as you mentioned, the nursing program that ACC offers. My girlfriend went through that and has her LPN now from ACC. And so we ended up over here for her to pursue that, and I came back to ACC last fall and went through the mathematics, English courses. I also took some history and things like that, and entered into the auto service part this fall to get my master's in that.
Very good. I believe also with the automotive programs there's independent certification, just as there might be with nursing. You have to be tested to practice. I think there's an ASC test that you can take when you finish the program and have that as evidence of competency in the field. Have you been acquainted with that?
A little bit. We have not taken our ASC certifications yet, of course, but before we do complete the course, we'll be state certified. And then everything that we're doing now with our hands-on in the lab and also the book work is all training for the ASC certification.
Very good. So you know, it's one thing to say you went to a reputable school, it's got a good automotive program, you made good grades, and you got a diploma from ACC.
Certainly.
But in addition to that, on top of that, you will end up with an objective, independent, third-party statement of your qualifications that is recognized nationally. You can go anywhere with that, and it's something that mechanic shops recognize all over.
Certainly.
Mark, back to you. What got you interested in the field of automotive mechanics?
I've always liked working on vehicles and snowmobiles, four-wheelers, so.
Very good. You just had that natural mechanical aptitude and inclination growing up?
Yep.
Right. How about you, Ty?
Similar. You know, as a young lad with Grandpa out in the shop, you know, always wrenching on something, and it's always been an interest of mine of just how parts and pieces fit together and interact with each other.
Good.
So, certainly.
I did some of that too as a youngster, but I'm told now today it's much harder to work on cars and trucks yourself because they're so sophisticated now. It was kind of nice back then. There wasn't too much to it. No computers on cars or anything like that. It was pretty basic. But the training that you're getting, I think, does allow you to understand the circuitry and the computer-assisted devices and all the other improvements that have been made.
Oh, certainly. And in our lab setting, for those that don't know, we do work on public vehicles, so we get a live feel for what's really happening. You know, we don't necessarily work on things that we're studying in classroom. We'll get vehicles in from the public, you know, with a variety of problems. So.
I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the services we offer to help train the students is for people to bring, anyone can show up at the shop, make an appointment, have a vehicle checked in and be worked on by students, as I understand it, for the cost of the materials and supplies and parts and so on.
Yes.
But without the labor charge, because you're learning how to do stuff.
Certainly.
It's under the supervision of Mr. Eastwood.
Yes,
so,
certainly.
That's something. Very good. Any idea as we close out where you want to go to work, where you hoping to practice your trade?
I'm hoping to go to the dealerships, somewhere close.
Okay, how about you, Tyler?
Long term, I'd like to own my own independent shop.
Very good.
And work for myself.
Very good. A couple of good career options. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for being on the program today. And good luck with the remainder of your time at ACC and then with your careers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This has been Talk of the Town with Nancy Smitham and Dr. Olin Joynton. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on Community. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.